We're back on this Friday with more of Today. Relationships can be tricky, especially if you've had a hard time understanding the opposite sex. So we enlisted some help.
Yes, we did. Backed by popular demand to answer your questions are two people with a lot to say. Elle's advice columnist, Jean Carroll.
Love her.
And the host of iHeartRadio's Love Life with Matthew Hussey.
Love him too.
Matthew Hussey.
You guys are our favorite odd couple.
You are so
we love having you guys.
Perfect duo.
You're our favorite odd couple.
Oh, that's
thank you.
Okay. Here, Chris
Thank
writes,
you for coming off the mountain to be with us
Chris
today.
writes in, what should you do when you see and want to address issues in your marriage, yet your spouse thinks everything's fine? Meanwhile, the whole situation is making you miserable. What to do?
Jean?
Well, I think you should get out of the house, get out of the neighborhood, pack a picnic, a loaf of bread, a jug of wine, head out, go for a hike, spread a blanket in the grass, and then tell him what you're thinking, not what you're feeling. Tell him what you're thinking. Just let him hear it, and then if all goes well, you can seal the deal on the blanket.
Matthew.
Okay.
Hussey.
For me, the tone of this question says it all. When she says, I'm miserable, and he doesn't know it, that doesn't just suggest to me a problem in the relationship. That's a woman who's too afraid to confront the problems. And the problem with that is those types of people...
Eugene's like, you're right. It's not about the picnic.
Dang, I wish I'd said that.
Forget the wine. Forget the picnic. Forget the blanket.
For that type of woman, the problem is, even if I gave her the courage to go and say something, the moment he'll do what a guy does, which is try and make her feel crazy or make her feel like, oh, why are you saying all these things now? She'll be too weak to be able to stand up to that. She's got to figure out her relationship with herself before she goes and confronts him. And that involves her core confidence and saying, you know what? I'm not going to have my self-esteem tied to losing this man, because that's why someone doesn't voice something, isn't it? They're afraid of loss, right? If I can say, you know what, it's more detrimental to my life to be in a relationship of pain than it is to be alone. Now she's going to go and get the things she wants.
That was good.
Wow, even Eugene's impressed.
No, I think Matthew is a secret woman. Really, you understand women deeply. You do.
All right, here's from Cheryl. Is it okay to date your ex's best friend?
If the breakup was clean, you respect one another, and the guy is hot, yes. If he has called you in the last 6 months crying, no. If you have called him in the last 6 months for a booty call, no.
I like that the principles are based on how hot he is. The fact is, firstly, what, you can't find another guy amongst the 3 billion guys in the world that's not his best friend. And if you can't, if he's the love of your life, go for it. If this is a whim because you're lonely or in pain, or worse, trying to get back at the guy, don't do it. You know, God forbid you're on the receiving end of that one day.
There are not that many good guys out there.
Oh, come on.
No, really, there are not. Matthew, you are 1 in a trillion. There are not that many.
But that's very different from saying there are no great guys out there.
Kate has a question. Is it appropriate to expect a date to pay for most or all of the nights out? Or at what point in the dating process should I begin reaching for the check to share some of the responsibilities?
It's not about finances. It's about getting lucky. If the man asks you out and you go to dinner and you like him and you think later down the road at some point you're going to go to bed with him, he pays. If he asks you out, you go to dinner, you don't like him, and you know never, never, never are you ever going to get into the bed with this guy, you offer to pay and then he pays.
So it's sort of like being a hooker.
But the point is, that's not about the first date. That's about, you know, you're a few dates in, what do? Do you keep letting him pay?
Do you ever let a lady pay?
Me, I don't like to let a lady pay, no. But here's the point.
1 in a trillion.
A lady shouldn't expect it. I think a man should pay, but a lady shouldn't expect it.
But a lady can pay by inviting him to her apartment for a dinner.
Yes,
no, not for that. Not for that, Eugene, you pervert. No, just to make dinner for him. Every man loves that,
Absolutely,
right?
but listen, I think it's tough for women in the position that they're in today to want equality in every other area and then in a relationship say, but I don't want to contribute in that area. I think that sends out a very confused message. I think for women, especially since you guys earn more money than us now, so for most women in that position, once they start to get into the relationship, if they want to be there, then they should be contributing.
Yes.
By the way, it's a guy's prerogative. If he wants to insist that he pays for everything, then she has the choice to let him. But I think the expectation is what ruins relationships.
I think it changes the dynamic of the relationship.
If you don't like the guy, you don't pick up the check.
Okay. If you don't like the guy, don't pick up the check.
Good girl.
We love you guys.
All right, coming